Hi everyone, Budget Stark here. Thanks again for tuning in. Today's video is going to be about this Mark 7 stealth accessory set, which I have here. I just picked this up in Hong Kong from a shop. This video I think is going to be a little bit challenging for two reasons. One is that it's going to be talking about the stealth Mark 7 suits and how the accessory kit fits on top of that. For those who actually have the Mark 7 stealth suit, you know that it's very difficult to capture because it's almost completely black. So photographers out there know how hard it is to capture how something really looks when something is so dark. So this video is recorded in HD quality. Second thing is, I'm going to try and compare and how that looks in relation to something that's almost completely clear. And again, for those who know how hard it is to photograph or video something which is almost completely clear, that's going to be quite challenging. So I'll do my best, but please understand how these look in reality may be slightly different to how it looks on film. And I'm doing as best as I can with this type of video camera and footage. So I'm going to go through three different parts. Number one, I'm going to show you how they look when they come straight out of the bag. There's not much in terms of packaging. Secondly, the second shot will be with these parts matched up next to the Hot Toys parts, so you can have a gauge in terms of the quality of how they look. And thirdly, I'll put the stealth in a couple of poses with these particular sets and parts on them, so you know roughly how they look, and I'll try my best in terms of the lighting as well. Just to give you some background on this accessory set, there's not many of these made. It's made by Customize, I believe, in Hong Kong. There's maybe 10 to 15 sets sold, maybe. I picked these up from a walk-in store, and that's how pretty much I buy everything. You just walk into a shop in Hong Kong and buy it. And I believe they're probably recasts of the parts that come off from the Mark 7 stealth suit. They've been repainted with a fade, and you can see that hopefully on this video footage on pretty much all the sections except for the repulsor, wrist gauntlets, the normal wrist gauntlets, the repulsor hand, and that's the only three sections that are completely clear. The rest are faded from the black to a clear, transparent look. It's as if the stealth suit is transforming, a bit like the Predator in his camouflage look. So I can see how the customizer here is thinking, nice creativity, and I like what he's planning on doing with this. I know it's extremely hard and labor intensive to make these holographic or clear components. Just by looking at this set, there's probably about 30 odd parts here alone. And him as a customizer has got to do this all by hand, glue it, assemble, and then paint as well. So it's very labor intensive. I think these are being sold around $100 to $130 mark, US dollars, something like that, which I think is a very, very reasonable price to pick this particular setup. If you can, that is, because I think they're pretty much sold out, as there's not many around, unless the guy does a second run. So let's put these next to the original parts from the stealth suit and see how they match up. I've got these all parts laid out. On the right hand side is the original Hot Toys stealth part. On the left hand side is the new accessory. This is the straight arm gauntlet. This is the wrist repulsor gauntlet. This is the right-handed wrist repulsor, and this hand, I can say, is probably one of the nicest parts in this whole set. It is excellently made. It's made out of a sort of soft rubberized plastic or a soft plastic. I'm not exactly sure on the material. The only down part, the downfall, is right in the center, slight imperfection there. But other than that, beautifully colored, and it's completely clear, very crystal clear, so good job on that one. Then moving across, we have the chest reflective panels. The forearm gauntlets panels. The thigh panels. The chest plates. And as I said earlier, there's all of them have the fade except for the wrist. The wrist gauntlets sections and the hand repulsor. The wrist protector, I should say. Everything is a fade. Now to go on to the right arm now, this is the original Hot Toys Stealth arm. And this is the new accessories one. Two things to note. First part is that it bends at the elbow. This section here, which is just like the Stealth version, it bends there. And the second thing to note, the fingers do not move, it's not articulated. It's in a static pose, if you want to call it that. The fingers don't move. Again, it's like a soft plastic or a rubber type material. And the gauntlet fits on this section here. There's a little tab. If you can just see that there, there's a little tab sticking out, and that's where the wrist guard goes. And on this one, on the original, you see there's no wrist guard tab, that nothing fits in because it slides in fully. That's why when you look at this, it has this that goes on to the wrist section, whereas on this one, there's just a little tab that it sits on. You can see that there. So let's get this posed up with those pieces on and see how this bad boy looks in certain lighting. This is one of the poses you can have this stealth in mid-transformation. I think you can hopefully see on the camera there are slight tinges of blue in the clear translucent parts to it. As mentioned before, it's pretty hard to capture this on video, so I'll do as best as I can to show you those particular colored differences. I've put on pretty much all of the parts, and I'll put on the repulsor hands in the next pose. The color blends is quite nice. It's not perfect match with the Hot Toys paint app. The Hot Toys paint app is absolutely phenomenal. When you put it side by side, you can definitely see the difference in the paint apps, but you're never going to be looking at this figure from 5 inches away. You're going to be looking at the figure maybe a foot to 2 foot away. And when you're looking at that distance, it's very hard to tell the difference. So good job from the customizer's point of view to make this creative sets. Hats off to him for trying it. It's a good, I'd say a good attempt at it with some nice touches. The hand repulsor, the right hand wrist repulsor hand is absolutely phenomenally done. In the set that I have anyway, it's very well done. The thigh armor is maybe a little bit loose. If you want to tighten that up, put maybe a little bit of blue tack or even nail varnish to essentially make the holes a little bit thicker as they slot in on the tabs on the accessory set. That might help a little bit. Let me just show you the last pose with the wrist repulsor. The last pose is with the wrist repulsors firing off a couple of rounds. Just a straightforward standing straight up pose. Just to let you know also, the wrist guard for the repulsor section that I had on this one here, on this bit here, the tab was a little bit too large for the hole. So I made the hole a little bit larger just with a Stanley knife or box cutter, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't expect these to be 100% perfect because these are all handmade and you're never going to get the quality control. So that's why if you need to do a little bit of customizing yourself on the item, you may have to, because it's never going to be 100% perfect. Just be aware of that, because I know not many people buy custom accessories for Iron Man sets because it's not something that's very common worldwide, whereas in Hong Kong, China at least, definitely Hong Kong all the time, you'll see these little things pop up in shops that you can pick up. So for those in Hong Kong are used to this, it's not something new, but for overseas collectors it may well be something new and you're expecting 100% perfection. You're not going to get that. So just want to manage your expectation of what you think you'll be getting. So this is the Mark 7 Stealth Accessories Kit. I quite like it for what the job the guys tried to do here. A great attempt at it. It definitely provides a different look to the stealth suit. And I'm definitely happy to have this as an alternative for poses and options for this suit. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it and found it useful. Catch you all at the next video.